Hey there, I'm Eric Roman, and I love talking about the new era of leadership that we all live in right now, whether you know it or not. So check me on this one. I want to introduce you to Eric Roman's 3 degrees of impact. When we talk about impact, in this day and age, everybody wants to have impact, right? And so first degree impact, what do I mean when I say first degree impact? I mean it's the people that we directly touch, right? So inside of a family, it might be your spouse or your kids. Inside of a business, it's your coworkers or your customers, right? That's what I consider to be a first degree impact. It's the direct recipient of your actions. But then we have second degree impact. I was first introduced to second degree impact as a speaker on stage when I had someone come up to me and talk to me about something someone had told them that I said while I was speaking. This person didn't hear me speak, but somebody else told them something that happened. That's what I consider to be a second degree impact. There's 1 degree of separation in between it. Someone was affected because of the words of someone else that started with you or your company. I know that sounds confusing, but you get it. But guess what? We're not done there. Then there's this concept of tertiary impact. And again, I experienced this one through public speaking as well. I had someone come up to me and tell me about how they had changed the purview of their company based on a presentation that they had watched online from me, right? And they were talking about all of the businesses that their company has now spawned off as a result of that change. Now, maybe it's like self-centered on my part, but they were giving me credit for the success of these new businesses that were being spawned off. It wasn't a direct thing. I never had directly spoken to that person, nor was it really a second degree because they were carrying all the work, but it really started at the core, it really started with my impact and my words that set this domino effect into motion. So think of it that way. Think of the degrees of impact as a domino effect. There's the domino you're touching, there's the next domino, and then there's all these other dominoes out there in the future. And what do we know about the power of the domino effect? Well, we know that the magnitude of impact further out and further from you, the source, is actually the greatest. And yet, ironically, we all focus on our first degree impact. We're all focused on the people we talk to. We're all focused on the customers our company serves or the people on our team. But what if the single greatest impact that you will ever have is a tertiary impact? Think about that for a moment. What might that change in the way that you interact with your team members if the greatest impact you may ever have isn't what you do with that team member, but what that team member may take away to go do with other people or other teams or other companies? Think of it sort of like a long game that we're playing, right? And, again, as humans, we just end up being so self-centered, so focused on what we do and what I accomplished and how big my company was. But what if the single greatest contribution we make on Earth is setting the stage for something else that's even greater? It starts with something you do to tip that first domino. That's 3 degrees of impact. Consider your tertiary impact on the world and consider how might I be investing my time different right now if I was focused on the long game of tertiary impact in my home, with my family, in my business, and with my teams. How different would your day and your energy be? Test it, try it, and see what happens downstream.